Hi guys, it's Jen with Cherry Tree Beads, and today we're going to go over knotting pearls. So knotting pearls is wonderful. It can be very calming and a fun thing to do. It could be maddening at first until you learn to get the hang of it. So pearls are knotted so that they don't rub together and rub the pearls finish off. And also, if they were to break, then you would only potentially lose one pearl. You wouldn't lose all of them. When it comes to pearls, most of the time you're going to end up using, if you use silk, you're going to end up using a size 4, a size 6, or a size 8. So we're going to look at how each of these works with this size. So I've already determined that for this one, I'm probably going to use the size 6, but we're just going to work through these together so you can see how I determined that. So what I like best about this Griffin silk is that the cord has the needle attached. So you can string your beads on and you're not having to double the cord through a needle or something like that. So this silk works perfectly. They are only 2 meters long though, so you just got to make sure that that's going to be enough for your project. So this one works and it's fine, but you can see there's still a little bit of space in there, and this is just going to make for a really small knot. And with a size 4, once you put that knot in there, you're going to have a really hard time getting it out if you make a mistake. So for this, you might be able to use the 4, but I would not recommend it. So let's try the 6. So here's the 6, and see, when I string it on, it's a little hard to get it over the spot where the silk meets the needle, but that's okay if it's a little hard. But if it's really hard for you to pull it over, then it's not the silk for you, because once you pull all these pearls over it for your necklace or your bracelet, it's going to wear down and you're just going to end up pulling the needle off and not being able to finish. So you want to make sure that it's a little hard to put it on, but not too hard. If it's too hard, then your silk's going to break. Once you've determined your cord, then we're going to go ahead, and for this one I'm going to show you how to use the clamshell bead tips. So we want to go ahead and attach our clamshell, and then we'll string our pearls on. Take the silk off this card, and what happens is this clamshell, you can see it opens up and it has a hole right there at the bottom. So we're going to string our cord through. We're going to put a knot at the top, put a little dab of glue on it. We're going to close that up and close the loop and attach it to our clasp. Once I get all this off the cord, with this end, I'm just going to go ahead and tie the knot. I'm just going to do it like that. And I'm probably going to do at least 3 knots. And then I'm going to put that in string the clamshell over that and see how that looks. So you're going to want to string it through the inside so that your knot stays in the shell. So 3 knots is perfect for it to fit in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on it. Do both sides of it. And we're going to take our scissors and cut that off right there. And then you can see how that fits nicely in there. And I'm going to hold it right here at the end. And I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to go ahead and start pushing this down as far as I can get it, but still leaving a space to work my clasp in. So I'm going to add my clasp, and then I'm going to go ahead and continue to roll that down. so that it's a loop with my clasp attached. And then I'm going to take my pliers and I'm just going to gently close this clamshell together. And you can see how nice that looks. That hides the knot. And then you just want to go ahead and start stringing on all of your pearls. I know a lot of people like to take their beads off the strand and put them in boxes. I really like to keep mine on the strand so that I can pull them off, and then it makes it that the holes are lined up so I can restring them. Otherwise, you have to dig them out of the little boxes and find the holes for each one, which is fine, but I just find this easier. Okay, so now we have some pearls on here, and I'm just doing this to show you. I'm not actually gonna probably finish anything today, but we're gonna go ahead and pull these all tight to the other end, leaving a couple inches so we've got some space to work. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this pearl down as close as we can get it to the clamshell bead tip, and then we're going to make a knot. And then there are lots of different ways that you can do this. For this first, I'm going to show you, these are knotting pliers. I love these. They just open. They have a nice smooth surface on the inside. So once I have my knot here, then I just put my pliers through there, through the loop, and hold it right up against the pearl. And then I'm just going to pull that so that it's nice and tight. And then I'm going to slip my pliers out, slide it here, and I'm going to just gently slide that knot down so that it's right up against that pearl. And then I like to go ahead and bring my next pearl down and pull it tight up against that knot, just to make sure that that knot is nice and secure. So I have never wet my silk. I have seen people online where they actually wet their silk and pull it and stretch it before they use it. I've always just done this, where I just pull it nice and tight, and it does loosen a little bit over time, but not enough to where there's any big spaces or anything. But I have seen people do that if you think that's a step that you need to take. And you just repeat the step over and over again. So I'm going to pull the bead, pull that knot tight, then I'm going to make a loop. And once I have my loop, I'm going to stick my pliers through the loop, pull it tight, let loose, and then gently slide that into place. So I know a lot of people don't like to use the pliers or don't have the pliers. That's fine. You can also just use your fingers. You can just knot it, put your finger in here. I find the pliers to be much easier, but you can definitely just use your fingers to pull that down. You can get an awl. I have a hard time with my fingers getting it close enough, but I know lots of people do it that way. That works. And then you can just pull this down. You can take an awl to help you do it. I just think the pliers get in there and get it. So, I mean, my fingers can't get that close right there to do that. So I think the pliers are definitely the way to get it the closest and the neatest. But that's my personal preference. The same thing at the other end if we were going to put the clasp on here. So let's go ahead and do one more knot here. Just going to put the pliers through my loop, put it close, pull this tight, pull that tighter. Okay, so we're at the other end. We want to go ahead and finish this off. So on this side, we're going to add the clamshell bead tip from this side. So, and from this end, we want to go up through the back end of it. And we're gonna string that as close as we can get it to the pearl. And then we're just gonna do a loop. And then same thing, we're just gonna take the pliers through the loop and put it down in that clamshell bead tip where we want that loop to be, or that knot to be. And so we're just gonna pull that in there and then pull it nice and tight so that your knot's in there. And we're gonna do about 3 for this side, just like we did for the other side. And then just pull it tight. It's 2, and then I'm just gonna do 1 more, just for good measure. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the glue on there. So dab of glue all the way around. And we're gonna cut off the excess silk. And then we're going to attach the clasp. I'm gonna bring down the little loop. And then we're just gonna close the clamshell bead. And that's how you would finish off a pearl necklace or bracelet using the clamshell bead tips.